And we're back. That's right, everybody. It's me, your digital homie, Supa Dave. And we're back with episode number 6 of the Supa Dave Stories podcast. Guys, I did something that I've never done before. Earlier this week, I released a teaser, about 15 minutes of me just talking about, some stuff that's going on in the commentary community. And it seems that I have set my target on KChunk, the fat suburbanite middle-class bitch, as I called her. And she seems to be running with that, just as D-Max ran with the name I gave him. I think I have something in naming people here in the commentary community. But I've come to realize, guys, the commentary community really is nothing. It's a bunch of nerds who just play video games and do not live life or have not lived any life. And it's a bunch of people who love passing judgment on others, but when it comes time to put up or shut up, they usually shut up, except for this one guy. And this one guy, you guys hear his name, like I said in my preview episode, you guys go running for the hills. There is a gentleman who has set his eyes on bringing down the commentary community. He goes by the name of Hashish. People call him the internet terrorist. But here's the thing, guys. Nobody really knows who this Hashish really is. This man has done, debatably horrible things to not only me, but many people who consider themselves a part of this commentary community. And you know what I like to say, guys? If you can't beat them, join them. And I've come to really enjoy Hashish's trolls, especially towards me. And I want to interview him, and I have been cautioned by, those people that still talk to me in the DMs, but not in public. They cautioned me against this, and I really want to try to get to know Hashish and get to know who he is and why he does what he does. So I reached out to him via a tweet, guys, and let's just pull that tweet up for you. So this is what started it all, guys. I sent out a tweet and I basically said, I think I want to interview Hashish. I will answer any and all of his questions if he answers mine. Who knows? Maybe there's a podcast in it. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. I have grown to hate that I like this guy, even with him calling my mom frog-eyed. So I opened the invitation out there to Hashish, and he accepted. Now, as we go to Hashish's Twitter page, as you can see, this is his 6th Twitter. This is his 6th X account. He's had 6 accounts, and you can see right here, y'all, he's Hashish 6. He has went by many names, and they've all been banned. But as you can tell, he still targeted me, and he says he's my #1 fan, which I appreciate. And he's been actually kind of tame with his trolls lately, which I can respect. I'm all for trolling as long as it doesn't get anybody hurt. That's my one rule, man, is please don't release where I live. Don't encourage others to come to my home, because as everyone says, that always ends badly. But Hashish basically said right here, guys, he said, I accept your terms and conditions, Supa Dave. DM me with the details so we can get this set up. 100. And I did just that. I reached out to Hashish and I basically said, I want to do a real interview, Hashish. I don't want this to be a shit talk fest, blood sports, as commentary has come to call it. I want to get to know Hashish. Who is Hashish? How did Hashish get blackballed? Why did Hashish get blackballed? What made Hashish go down the route of quote unquote doxing? Is Hashish an entertainer? Is he a content creator, or is he just a well-known troll who is happy with that? I find him fascinating that this man he has a constantly rotating platform. This guy has a constantly rotating platform, so it's really hard for him to get any traction going, because by the time he actually starts getting some followers and getting some traction going, that account always gets booted or shut down for TOS violations. So I want to know what the man's goals are. So you guys can condemn me all you want for wanting to interview this man, but I guarantee you it will bring in views and people will be interested in what this Hashish has to say. He has quote unquote doxed the likes of me, Valid Creations, Peepaw Riveter, KChunk, Sin. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Salvo Pancakes, I believe he actually doxed at one point. And that's not even counting all the parody accounts he has made. The list goes on, and I'm not gonna lie to you all. In my conversation with Hashish trying to get this interview set up, he said he's gonna call me on my bullshit and some of the things I've done in the past, and I welcome that. I'm sure he's gonna bring up the fact that he views me as being Islamophobic, which I am not. I am not. Sometimes I have said some things for shock value, and maybe I can, as long as he's willing to listen to me, maybe he can understand that. After all, racism is a very touchy subject, and it hits different people in different ways. So if he can't understand the value of shock humor, I don't know what to tell the guy. But we're going to touch in on that. We're going to touch in on everything when we do this interview. It's probably going to be the next interview of the Supa Dave Stories podcast. But you guys, you ask me all the time, what is the Supa Dave Stories podcast? What are these stories you're going to talk about, Dave? Well, you guys, it's been outed that I have lived a very rough life. Homeless for several years. Before that, my family life went downhill due to the drug abuse. So I am actually at this point in my life where I am in the rebuilding phase. There are still parts of me that I do not like, as there are many parts of you do not like. I'm sure that KChunk broad doesn't like the fact that she is putting on a lot of weight. I am sure she is not okay with the fact that people are using her for what little quote-unquote clout she thinks she has. But that's a story for another day. I'm sorry for sticking all these jabs in, but I am anti-commentary now, and we'll get to that down the road. But I want to explain to you guys what my goal is with this Supa Dave Stories podcast. Basically, I want to tell you stories from my past. I want to explain to you all who I am and what I have to offer you and why you should listen to me and not think I'm just some random heroin addict who's just spewing shit off the top of the dome. And the main thing I want to touch on today, before we talk about any news or anything, I want to talk about the fact that in the Badwick interview, during the Badwick interview, it has came out that I consider myself asexual. And that is because I've never in my entire life really been interested in sex. Not that I don't want love or anything like that. I've had love. I've had relationships. I've, had a fiance, believe it or not. And that is why when everything came out, thanks to Hashish, believe it or not, about when I got arrested that one time for suspected domestic violence, it had to deal with my last major partner, Kristen. And I don't know if she feels comfortable with me telling this story, but I'm just going to tell the broad scope of it. So Kristen and I dated for 4 years. And in those 4 years, I thought it was a great thing. But however, I never really was into the sexual part of the relationship. I'm not into it. I don't know what else to say, but I did it. And she would always say, you seem bored or not interested and all this stuff. And it's true. I wasn't. I was more interested in companionship than actual sex. So we did this for about 4 years, dating on and off, and one day Kristen came to me and she said, Dave, I can't get text messages. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Can you please look at my phone and try to fix it? Well, as I was diagnosing her phone, I come to realize that she was saving all of her SMS messages. Her text messages were getting saved to Google, and Google allots you 15 gigabytes of free space. So guys, she had I should just say 4. She had about 4 years of SMS messages backed up in Google. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not a perfect human being. Ask yourself, what would you have done if your significant other, your fiance, presented you with 4 years of backed up text messages, picture messages, and video messages? Would you want to take a peek? That is a serious question to ask. In retrospect, I should have never looked, but I did. I did. And what did I find, you guys? 4 years of Kristen cheating on me. Yeah, no joke. I had to watch the videos she was sending her ex-husband, had to watch and see the most sexual stuff that she was not doing with me. um, and there was 7 different men, and I watched it all. Heartbroken is the definition of what I was. Shattered is an understatement. I was coming out to Kristen and trying to explain to her that, hey, I'm not just a sexual person, and she claims she understood, and come to find out, people have their needs and they'll get their needs met. But I didn't know how to present this to Kristen. I did not know how to tell her, hey, you fucked up. I know you cheated on me, not once, but 7 times in 4 years with 7 different men. One of those being your ex-husband. And I could not contain that. I could not keep all that in. I know I am diagnosed with Asperger's, so I come to realize that's what I was explosive of, and that's how I came to Kristen. She came back from doing whatever she was doing. She comes in the house, and I just blow up, throw the phone at her, and explain this. Explain why you got texts from this guy. Explain why you sent videos of this to this guy. Tell me about this picture. Tell me about this picture. And I said the most degrading, horrible things to her in front of her children. Horrible things. Things that, I regret to this day saying these things to her. But like I said before, hurt people. And I was hurt. I was broken. Having to see the imagery that I seen, and knowing who it was going to, that was the kicker. So you guys all want to know what that DV charge was all about. It was about me throwing a phone and berating her verbally in front of her children. The neighbors heard, and the neighbors called the police. And I got put in handcuffs, and I went to jail for 3 days till they got everything sorted out and realized that there was no abuse. So they dismissed all the charges. And that is that. And believe it or not, my dumb ass still went back to Kristen after all that. Talk about being a cuck, eh? I took her back after that, and we just came to realize it doesn't work. We are so much better just being friends. And I'm okay with that. I still talk to Kristen to this day. She's probably one of my deepest, most caring friends I have. And I'm grateful to have her still in my life to this day. And her children. I've seen them grow into amazing young adults. And I know that their futures are in good hands. I know that they've seen and done things that will make them stronger. And I just hope I did not give them a tainted view of who I am, because, like I said, I was so hurt at all that. I did not need to air out stuff about our sexual relationship in front of them. That was not right. Calling anybody a whore in front of their children is wrong to do, and I regret that deeply. So that is one of the Supa Dave stories you're going to be hearing on this podcast, you guys. I felt the need to address that. I felt the need to put that out in the open and be vulnerable. Something I hope Hashish will do when I interview him. I hope he can understand that I'm not here to pass judgment on anybody. Nobody's life is perfect. I am just choosing to share that. This is my footprint. When I am dead and gone, God forbid if anybody wonders who David Teschendorf was, they can go on the internet and see these videos, and they can get to know a little piece of me. That's all I'm trying to do. And I'm not going to lie, being able to get this off my chest right now publicly after holding this in after the Badwick interview and everything, it is so liberating and freeing to just say, here's what happened, you guys. It makes me feel like a load has been lifted, and that's a great feeling. As I said earlier, you guys, the preview I put out for this episode is not going to be incorporated in this. Why should I re-release something you guys already heard? But I will add an addendum on that. It seems that KChunk felt the need to put what I called her in her title, and Maggot posted something about it must suck to suck or something towards me, stating she is not a content creator. Let me just get the exact quote from her. 1 second. So Maggot Edits posted, ha ha ha. Anyways, shout out to KChunk for giving me a spot as a co-host on her show. I'm not really big into content, nor am I interested in running any solo shows. I love the KChunk streams, and so do quite a few others. Sucks to suck, IG Dave, but thanks for the compliment. So, Maggot, I hate to be that guy who gets nitpicky and, goes tit for tat, but I'm calling bullshit on this, especially right here. I'm not really big into content, nor am I interested in running any solo shows. Well, what do you call all these animations you make? I mean, seriously, it just goes on and on. You're on this person's stream. It just goes on and on. Yes, of course, you do the thumbnails for that. It goes on and on. I mean, you're everywhere. Seriously, Maggot. So I'd call that being a content creator. You can't be on both sides of the fence. Again, more for KChunk here. You're doing her animated GIFs, and that, my friend, is content creation, and it's not half bad. I'm serious though when I say you're going a little overboard with the glitch effects, all these hand-drawn Adobe motion graphics you're using, a little overdone in my opinion, for my taste. It's not bad though, but that, my friend, is content creation, and basically KChunk would have nothing without Maggot Edits. And Maggot, you may not show your face or anything, but you still are known in this community as a creator. I know you're not okay with that, but that's basically what you are. We can always let's just take a look at KChunk's page real quick. I'm sure she's gonna pop up here on your timeline somewhere, because you do everything for the broad. Wow, you are very active on this computer. I hope the kids got lunch and dinner on the table. Yeah, I don't know. Not my place to wonder that, but I'm sure other people have wondered that. Actually, I got proof that other people wonder that. But I am just impressed with how much dark imagery is going on. You must be a tortured soul there, Maggot. Seriously, everything. It's a whole bunch of ass kicking, but oh my god, am I dark. There's my homie Seth. Okay. Yeah, she's cool. I like Seth. She makes me laugh. She's entertaining. There's good old KChunk. I don't see you actually plugging too much of KChunk's work, though. There's another thing you created for her. Seriously, I don't know why I'm going through. Oh, I'm looking for a link to good old KChunk's page. 1 second. There we are. Good old KChunk. So her name is KChunk103, and she says right here she is a fat, middle-class suburbanite bitch. Guys, I'm telling you, I am good at giving people nicknames. Seriously, D-Max took it and ran with it. I mean, it's the truth. If the shoe fits, wear it. And KChunk seems to be wearing the shoe I gave her. And we're not talking about a glass Cinderella slipper. We're talking about like a fat lady day walking shoe. And I'm serious. I bet you KChunk's husband is really upset with the weight gain. I mean, seriously, if your husband knew that 50 pounds came with a microphone, I guarantee you he wouldn't be buying you all this stuff. Seriously, you might want to show him some weight loss or some goals that you want to lose some weight there, Chunky. And you say, Dave, you're fat. How dare you? Well, if you take me seriously, I don't know what to tell you guys. But if I want to call the bitch fat, she's fat. Okay, just like if you all want to call me a meth head, fair game. But I am really, I think this bitch's voice is annoying. And I think that she would be nothing without Maggot. And I'm allowed to think that she is a content creator. They can say what they want to say, and I can say what I want to say. But what I found fascinating here, guys, is when they insult me, and Maggot posted this, and if you look at the comments right here, I found this one fascinating by good old Nerdy John. Nerdy John wrote, damn, if he thinks KChunk is not entertaining, I hate to see what his opinion of me. Not really, I'm a narcissist. So I'm just going to be real with you here, John. I like your videos. I like your work. I think you got a good voice. My problem with you, John, is I feel you are lending to too many people's content. You are always in line to swing from Peepaw Riveter's ball bag. You are like dangling, like you're in his waiting room more than he is in his actual VC. I find it weird that, you know, you call yourself a content creator, but you're always jumping to get in on somebody else's stream when you got your own platform and you should be focusing on building that. If you're in this for the community aspect, you're going to be disappointed. They will let you down in the long run and you will be a sour, bitter man like I am. But seriously, John, you have a lot to offer. I just think you need to put your nose down, focus on your content, and see where you can take that. Let people come to be on your shows. Why do you always have to offer your voice to other people's content? It's not giving you any subscribers. Let's just keep it real here, John. Being a daily caller to the Peepaw Riveter stream, which only gets 200 views, isn't really building you up all that much. Licking the teat of KChunk and Maggot isn't gonna get you where you need to go. But what I will tell you will get you where you need to go there, John, is you should become anti-commentary. That's right, you guys. I am officially anti-commentary, and I am so proud of that. And I've come to realize that commentary is going downhill fast. There is nobody in this community that lends a voice of reason and that is truthful in what they speak. It is all a bunch of nonsense. People are spewing utter bullshit, and it's a popularity contest on who can get what over faster. It's let me put this out there, and then everybody's mimicking that for safe content, and I'm not cool with that, you guys. I think if you're gonna make content, be your own voice. Why do you gotta wait for what quote unquote one of the pillars in this community has to say when you could be your own voice and really say something powerful? Everybody is, it's a popularity contest is basically what I'm getting at, and the commentary community is led, I guess you would say, by a man named Nicholas Diorio, and I would say the anti-commentary community is being headed by a man named Salvo Pancakes. We all know Salvo. Salvo has been on my content since I basically started. I am a Salvo Pancakes fan, and I am no longer going to be ashamed of that. I'm going to be by Salvo's side as he takes down the commentary community. This man has been targeted by everybody in the CC, and he has had so many X accounts, Twitter accounts, at this point, and he keeps coming back, and already he's up on this. This is probably like his 8th or 9th account, and he's already up to 157 followers. He rebuilt his YouTube platform. It's almost at 2,000 subscribers at this point, and it's because he says stuff like this: the pedophile protectors, and of course he's talking about the quote-unquote pillars of the commentary community. I see Augie, Bo Blacks, Nicholas Diorio, and some other no names here, and I say that Salvo is going to lead up this anti-commentary community. And you say, well, who is in this anti-commentary community? I'd say, who isn't in this anti-commentary community? There's guys like Salvo, myself, Twitter Geek, Hugin is a big part of it. Tist, another very vocal person. You got guys like Zanny Berries, and I mean, they just keep coming on and on. Big time players. Mike Lopez, I believe, is another person that's very vocal. Harambe, very vocal. You got guys like that new Niggler guy, and and that's what I said, Niggler, not the other word. So don't relax, Hashish. That's basically what I'm saying on that. And I mean, he calling the CC the cuck cover-up community. He's got, I mean, banger tweets. Salvo is speaking the truth, talking about Tom getting cucked by lyrics. Has been hidden for over a year. The truth tellers fought for the truth. More to come. I mean, seriously, let me reiterate. This will be the must-watch, talking about king shit of all the A-logs. I mean, this is an awesome Twitter page, guys. Salvo has the banger tweets. And here he goes off on the commentary community here. The CC, the cover-up community, hates when private people in their life are talked about, even though they will talk about Alberto's girlfriend. Here is Augie RFC crying about the GC last year when I talked about his mom. Get this, after he posted a pic of her on his Twitter. Trigger warning, soy. Seriously, and then he comes with the receipts. It's very true. The commentary community is very hypocritical. It's very much rules for me, but not for thee. And another prime example of this is Dead Chat on Dave. Dead Chat on Dave has been around for over 9 years and was very predominantly covering Salvo Pancakes at one point, but now he's not. His channel is absolutely dead. I mean, here we go. This is what happens when a stream that once relied on covering me for views refuses to cover me anymore. LOL, dead in the water. And when you look at these views here, guys, we're talking 400, 385, 424. I mean, seriously, these are 168 views. Dead on Dave, guys. Dead Chat on Dave is officially dead. Tommy C is, you know, as much as I like the guy, the man is lost his finger on the pulse. Tommy C just featured D-Max on his latest episode or stream, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's the thing, Tommy. You're about 4 months too late on the D-Max train. The guy is over. The guy's dead in the water. Nobody wants to hear D-Max anymore. He is so played out at this point, so overused. Why? Because he jumps on all these streams like he's hot shit when he's not. He offers nothing intellectual. He offers nothing entertainment-wise. The man is there simply to take up space. He is annoying to my ear holes. He is annoying to my soul. And I'm not speaking for just myself here. I'm speaking for the mass populace. You know, the guy talks like he's so educated, you know. It's funny. I just did a quiz on factable.com. where they try to guess your education level by you taking this test. Guys, guess what it thought I had? It thought I had a fucking master's degree. So I'm just saying, anybody can sound smart if they really know useless facts. And seriously, the facts that D-Max knows are absurdly niche and dumb. What the fuck is a waifu, D-Max? What the fuck I mean, anime? I was right with Tommy C when he was talking about anime. That's like what the edgy black kids used to watch and read when I was in high school. I don't know, and you start talking about waifu and all this crazy shit. I clicked off right then, bro. I try giving D-Max a chance. I try saying, well, maybe he'll surprise me with this showing or this appearance on this stream. And he kills it every time. I seriously don't get this guy, and I really wish horrible things for him professionally. I really rue the day that anyone decided to platform this kid. And seriously, the voice alone, I mean, him and KChunk should do a show together and call it The Annoying Voices. I mean, that's a free tip for you guys. But back to the anti-commentary community. You know, Salvo, the head leader of this thing, in my opinion, has been vocal not only about D-Max, but he's been vocal about Dead on Chat Dave. And here he shows the true lack of any kind of power in the commentary community. He says right here, everybody in the commentary community has tweeted/retweeted this to promote it. And it's at 116 views. Sorry, your influence is over, commentary community. And look at that, 15 likes, 279 views. See, I can't agree more. Nobody cares about the kissing, that nobody cares about the ass kissing that goes on in the commentary community. If you listen to the commentary community, you would be quote unquote enjoying a Huggy Bear stream. Seriously, the man is a fucking charity case. I'm surprised he didn't get his microphone from a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Seriously, I'm over coddling and kissing ass to be a part of this club because they're a bunch of nerds. They're a bunch of kids who have never lived life. Who, seriously, I bet you none of these people have I bet you none of these kids have ever been cheated on like I have. I bet you none of these kids have had their heart broken, for Christ's sake, because they're too afraid to get out of their bedroom, and they let their mommy and daddy cook them their dinner, and they call people fags and stuff on the internet. It's a sad, sad tale when you're actually trying to be friends with these people. You know, I thought there was some cool people in the commentary community, but as you really get muddy into the deep waters of the commentary community, you realize it's a swamp. It's a cesspool. There's nothing of value at all that these people offer. I mean, when you got a guy like Peepaw Riveter calling the shots, yeah, that's a joke. Xylee gets real. Xylee gets trailer park. I mean, she's more low class than me, and I was fucking literally living under a bridge. So, I mean, I look at these people and I'm like, Dave, what the fuck were you thinking? They're spewing bullshit. It's an ass kiss fest. You should be looking and listening to Salvo Pancakes, because the man is out here really speaking truth. It's true. When Dead Chat Dave stopped covering Salvo, his views went to shit. Same with Xylee. I only discovered Xylee because of Salvo Pancakes, and now that Salvo is adamantly, vocally fighting the commentary community, I'm all for it, and I hop on board this train whether I'm welcome or not. Twitter Geek was, you know, whether you like the guy or not, he will not let you forget things that happened in the past. Now, I am a proponent of, if you do not live there anymore and if you are not exhibiting those behaviors anymore, it doesn't matter. But it doesn't mean it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And there's always Twitter Geek there to remind you of all the horrible, two-faced, hypocritical shit that people in the commentary community have done. Now, do I think Tommy C needs to retire? No, but I think he really needs to get a new producer, because in my opinion, Matt Pitt, his quote-unquote producer, is truly focused on now recording and not Tommy C. Tommy C needs to have a producer that's focused on promoting Tommy C and getting guests for Tommy C's platform, and I don't see Matt Pitt doing that. I see, look at, if the best get Matt Pitt can get for Tommy C is D-Max, we have a problem here. One has to wonder if Matt Pitt isn't sabotaging Tommy C by putting somebody like D-Max, who is the epitome of everything that Tommy C is against, in front of him. It is such a joke. It really makes me sick to the stomach to think about D-Max on Tommy C. What the hell is happening in this community, guys? And there's Salvo Pancakes to call it all out. This may be his like 7th or 8th Twitter account, but you know, he's still here and he's still calling all this bullshit out. And I thank you for that, Salvo. And I apologize if I ever spoke ill of you. I am saying this publicly. We all know I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I know who the winning team is here, and I am riding for that winning team. Like I said, whether I'm welcome or not. It says right here, hashtag total commentary death, and I'm all for it. Also, guys, I forgot to mention Michael Alberto. Michael Alberto just released this awesome video where he calls out Nicholas Diorio. And guys, I highly encourage you guys to check out this video. It is so well done. Now, I wasn't around for a lot of this lore, and, you know, I really didn't have a take on it either which way. But after watching this, I can say that the commentary community is full of a bunch of weirdo kids. They're a bunch of sexual deviant kids, and that is something I just can't get down with. And Nicholas Diorio is very hypocritical. You guys think I am some big hypocrite? Nah, man, I've been saying this since day one when I made my first anti-Nicholas Diorio video. This guy is trouble, and you all don't see it, or you do see it and you still want to be in his circle for protection or something. He acts like he's some mafia don or some boss. He's backing the commentary community, and like I said, if he's a boss of anything, he's the boss of a bunch of weirdo pedophiles. I'm not saying he is one. I'm just saying he sure does influence a lot of pedophiles, and that's saying something. I'd rather be on the other side with Sal Pancakes, and that's a fact, Jack. And check out Michael Alberto's video, you guys. It's doing really well. It's getting a lot of views, and it seems like the kid put a lot of work into it. So shout out to Michael Alberto and his Nicholas Diorio video. I highly recommend it. So I just like going through Salvo's timeline here, because he really always is letting the truth out for all to see. And I highly encourage you guys to follow Dr. Salvo Ideas MD, Truth Teller. This is his new Twitter X account, whatever you want to call it, and it's full of truth. And if you are as anti-commentary as I am, I highly recommend you guys click that follow button. And like I said, every week now, I'm just gonna be shitting on this community and the antics that go on in it. If you are gonna sit here and support somebody like Peepaw Riveter or KChunk, we can't be friends. We just are from different sides of the tracks, and misogynation is a taboo word, and I find misogynation within the commentary community is not acceptable, and I will stay on the side of not the pedophiles, because these kids who really don't know about life and like to stay in mama's basement and let mama and daddy pay all the bills. And you could call me a hater all you want, but I call it being a child. Let life slap you in the face once, and you know, those tears will dry up real quick, and you'll learn it's time to grow up and be a man. And for those of you who feel the need to call out people's personal lives and all that, more power to you. Doesn't change the fact that you still let your mom buy your underwear, and that says a lot. That really says a lot, guys. So hashtag anti-commentary, and I will be shouting that from the rooftop and all that good jazz. Maggot, whether you like it or not, you are a content creator. And KChunk, there is something called Weight Watchers. WW points system really helps. I guarantee you your husband will thank you once you drop about 20 pounds. I know when they say you're hungry, grab a Snickers, but maybe in your case, when you're hungry, grab a carrot stick. That helps. I hear Wegovy is pretty popular. Maybe give that a try, and maybe do some vocal exercises before you do a stream. You know, massage the vocal cords and get that rasp out of your voice. It is so annoying. Like I said, when I hear yours and D-Max's voice, I literally want to slit my wrists. And that's a sad thing. I'm sure you guys can't wait for the day when I actually do it. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But seriously, I hate the bitch's voice. It just drives me up a wall. I mean, and she wants to know why I blocked her. It's because, like, I see no redeeming qualities in you. You are not a good content creator. All of your edits are done by Maggot. The only funny bits on your whole stream are from Maggot. You're not even a good straight man. You're just garbage, in my opinion. Everything about you spews green. And like I said, I thought my interviews needed work, but I actually took the time to indulge in one of your interviews and tried to get behind it, and it just ain't happening. Your shit is garbage. I don't know what else to say. I try to be more vocal about it and be more intellectual with my vocabulary, but when something just smells and reeks of shit, you got to call it what it is. It's shit. And that's what your content is, KChunk. It's shit. And I hope you improve. I really do. I want nothing but improvement from everybody. But above everything, guys, I want people to stop hanging their hat on this commentary community and build something that's actually worthwhile. And, you know, where you can say you're proud to be a member of something, and nobody can proudly say they're a member of the commentary community at this point, because it is just an ass kiss fest. And it's a niche community that's not growing. It's actually dwindling, and it's sad. It's sad when you got guys like Nerdy John here who could be focusing on his content and building an audience and bringing in people from all these other communities and build something great. But no, he'd rather lend his voice to the Paw stream, which brings in the same 35 people daily. It's sad, guys. It's gotta change. And what makes me sad is that, but what makes me happy is that we finally got an arrest made in the murder of Tupac Shakur, guys. And this is a big thing. So let's go right now to this news report and talk about the arrest that has been made in the case of Tupac Shakur. That's right, y'all. I have amazing news. After 27 years, y'all, the murderer of Tupac Shakur has been arrested. This is just crazy to me. I remember 1996, in my house especially, my older brother Bob was a huge Tupac fan. Believe it or not, he also liked Biggie, but Tupac was always playing in my house. I can still sing every lyric of Hail Mary. A great artist, tremendously underrated. I wish he could have lived to see how much of an impact he truly had on society. This man's words have seriously saved people's lives, and I am just so glad that his family can now rest easy knowing that this has been solved, essentially. Now, we still got a lot to come with the court case and everything, but let's take it right now to this CNN report and just get a little bit more knowledge on how this actually happened.
And then Las Vegas police have arrested a suspect in connection with the 1996 drive-by shooting death of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. CNN's Camila Bernal joins us live right now, along with CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. So first to you, Camila, what are we learning about this arrest?
Hey, Boris, sources telling CNN that they have arrested Dwayne Keith Davis, also known as Keffy D. He was arrested.
Keffy. I believe his name is actually Keefy D. He was a member of the South Compton Crips, and they beefed with the sect that Tupac was in, which is crazy.
This morning, according to sources, in connection with the killing of Tupac Shakur. Now, we do know that in July, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department served a search warrant on Davis's wife's home. And what they were looking for was any evidence linking to this crime. They were looking for anything that could show motive as to the killing of Tupac Shakur. And specifically, we know that in this search warrant, police were able to obtain multiple tablets, an iPhone. They took 5 computers, USB drives, photographs. So we know that they have been looking into this case and have been investigating this case since it happened.
Wow, did you hear they took all that digital media, which makes me wonder, in 1996, cell phones were still so new at that time, barely any, pagers were still the big thing back then. How much digital evidence could they possibly even have? Maybe they're looking for correspondences where maybe he, in like more recent day conversations, he admitted to the murder. They've obviously found something during that search warrant because they said that was in July. Here we are at the end of September and the arrest has been made, so they obviously must have found something during that search warrant, executing of that search warrant.
In 1996. At the moment, we do not know what Davis has been charged with. We are expecting a press conference later on today to get details from authorities. But again, this is something that happened in 1996 and police have been looking into for years now. Dwayne Keith Davis, he had described himself as one of the only witnesses to this shooting. If you recall,
well, I actually watched that press conference, and I should have played that instead of this, which maybe we'll make another video down the road. But basically, Keefy D, he was the shot caller for the South Compton Crips. And earlier in the evening, Tupac and Suge Knight beat the hell out of Keefy D's nephew. And they did this at the MGM Grand for the Mike Tyson fight. And I guess that made Keefy D, his nephew, and 2 other members of the Crips acquire a gun and go after and in turn shoot, which killed Tupac 6 days later. So the press conference does give a lot more information. I encourage you guys to check it out. It's about a 16 minute video, and they basically state that what turned them onto this investigation to go after Keefe D is because he was speaking in media interviews, and he basically was saying things in these media interviews which wasn't released to the public. So essentially the man told on himself. And you guys got to remember, with cases like sexual abuse or homicide, there is no statute of limitations. And I imagine this Keefe D guy is really kicking himself in the ass right now as he's sitting behind bars because he couldn't bite that tongue of his.
Tupac Shakur was in a car. They were at a boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. They were in a car, and all of a sudden there was another car that pulled next to them, and the shooting began. It's unclear exactly who shot Tupac, but again, this is a huge development in this case years later, as we now know that there is someone arrested in connection.
One arrest had been made, and it's funny, there was 4 suspects that were in the vehicle, and the other 3 people that were in that vehicle, they're all dead now. So the only person they could prosecute was this Keefe D. And from what the press conference said, it was Keefe D who actually acquired the gun, because after all, he was the shot caller for the Crips, so he had people in Nevada. They were from Compton, so they were in Nevada just for the Tyson fight. So he called in a favor from one of his brothers, and when I say brothers, I mean fellow gang members, and that's how they acquired the gun that shot Tupac. Fascinating stuff. I am amazed that here we are 27 years later, and this case is finally getting put to bed.
To this case, Boris.
Joey, to you, it's been nearly 3 decades since Tupac was shot and killed. This is a surprising development, to say the least. What's your reaction?
Yeah, so Boris, significant and surprising development without question. But I think that what we have to understand is in murder cases, there is no statute of limitations. It's quite common.
Wow, it's almost like I just said that.
That you have law enforcement throughout this country that continue to operate in a cold case capacity, continue to follow leads, and decades later, sometimes they come to a conclusion. Obviously, in any arrest here, right, anyone's presumed innocent till proven guilty, but police have been working this case. And in fact, they are giving the indication that is police that potentially this person was quite involved. Now, remember, right, in the event that there's a pull-up shooting, and indications are it happened from the back seat of that white Cadillac 27 years ago in September. But, you know, in the event that you aided, abetted, assisted, or acted in concert, you need not even be the person who pulled the trigger. There's some indications from the person that they have in custody now that it was his nephew who was in the back seat. Again, all allegations. His nephew, of course, who is now dead. But his nephew denied that he was involved at all. And of course, the giving up of his nephew, the person in custody now, is in connection with another case where he was questioned. There's certainly reports from his own book that he was present, that he was there, that he was in that vehicle. Now, mere presence, to be clear, is never enough. You have to establish that you had knowledge of it, were in on it, and acted in accord with whatever was occurring. And so certainly now, after all of this time, yes, there are challenges, Boris, in moving forward, but you have to believe that based on the search warrant they conducted in July of the suspect's wife's home, based upon the information they gathered, based upon street intelligence and other information, that they have probable cause to believe that he's involved, and we'll see how the prosecution moves forward after today.
Absolutely, guys, and that's where we're gonna leave it. All I know is it's gonna be an interesting court case. I hope it is televised. I just know that the police department wouldn't make such a big deal out of this and make such a public display of arresting him if they didn't have concrete evidence. They wouldn't, you know, bring this back up, and it would make the department look horrible if this Keefe D guy got away on a technicality or something. I'm sure they covered their ass in every aspect, and this case is probably locked up so tight, and I can only hope that the family can find some peace with this, you guys. fascinating stuff. Again, guys, a case for 27 years that has been unsolved. People were claiming that this guy was still alive, but he is here and things are amazing. I am Super Dave, y'all. This has been episode number 6 of the Super Dave Stories. I know it is not, I was going to talk about Pauly Shore and everything, but there's been so many changing developments and whatnot. I'm still waiting to hear back from Apple to see if we will be listed on iTunes as a podcast. Also submitted to be on Google Podcasts. So hopefully we'll hear more about that. And if we hear back soon, we will have a more concrete schedule. But otherwise, I'm just going to release content as I feel fit to do so. Remember, guys, it's all about the hashtag anti-commentary community. I don't even want to call us a community. We are a group of individuals who seriously just have had enough with these assholes. At least I have. I shouldn't speak for all of them, but by listening and watching their content, I can feel their pain, and it feels good to see that somebody is calling it out. And remember, guys, Hashish is a human being too, and I hope to get in his head, so to speak, and I want to learn where this man took the turn and went down the dark road. Should be an awesome podcast, even if I have to do some yelling or if he has to yell at me. I'm excited for it, and I really hope something good can come of it, guys. Once again, y'all, I'm Super Dave. This has been the Super Dave Stories podcast, and I hopefully will see you next week. Peace.